What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. We're here to count down the top 10 omnibus that we want to see made, so stay tuned. Alright guys, we know that these publishers are watching, they see these videos, so I figured let's do a poll in our Facebook group Geminites, which has just about 3,000 members, to see what are the top 10 omnibus that we want to see made. So not just what I want to see. And I don't want to include any reprints. This is strictly omnibus that have never been made. So we have a top 10 list. We're going to go ahead and count them down together. Let's go ahead and pull it on up. And while you're here, you might as well go on ahead and join the Geminites Facebook group. Great group of like-minded individuals. We have a lot of fun in there. And I kind of like the idea of doing polls and doing like top 10 videos out of those. We did another poll one other time, but we never ended up making a video. Maybe we'll revisit it one day. 3,000 members. I wish we would have had a little more participation, but we did all right. All right, guys, so the number 10 on the list, this book only had 13 votes, but it's the Spectacular Spider-Man Omnibus. This ran for a lot of issues, and it ended up really tying in with Amazing Web of adjective list, I guess, when they did events like Maximum Carnage. So I guess maybe the first creative team, that would probably go one. I think the issue number 1 has a tarantula on the cover or what have you. So Spectacular Spider-Man actually had 264 issues. It ran from 1976 through 1998. It was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And it dealt more with Peter Parker stuff, college year stuff, and less Spider-Man stuff. On this run, we had Jerry Conway, Sal Buscema, and Mike Esposito. I think it's a pretty cool book to have an omnibus. I mean, we have enough Spider-Man omnibus as it is, so another one couldn't hurt. That is number 10 on the list. Geminites want to see the Spectacular Spider-Man collected in omnibus format. Number 9 on the list is the 1990s Green Lantern run. So this was a run that I've never read, and I really just pieced together what happened from reading Jeff Johns' Green Lantern omnibus. This is where we get Hal Jordan, who gets possessed by the Parallax. This is where we get the introduction of Kyle Rayner, and I'm digging some Copper Age Green Lantern artwork. I would definitely be willing to jump into that. I understand it's a very long run, but hey, this is a wish list. Let's crank them volumes out. Green Lantern had 14 votes. Coming in at number 8 with 15 votes, kind of cheated a little bit, but it's Amazing Spider-Man volumes 5 and 6. Amazing Spider-Man 4 goes up to... Volume 4 goes up to issue 142. They have about 30 issues in each, so you're looking at like ASM 143 to 173. Then Volume 5 would be like 174 to like 204. I mean, we need to really just keep cranking them out until we get to 700. I think that's got to be like the ultimate end game. Although, you're going to start double dipping with other omnibus. So let's actually see, when does Roger Stern pick up? Amazing Spider-Man 206. So actually, you could do volumes 5 and 6 that leads right up to the Roger Stern omnibus, and then just continue with that. There you go. Number 7 on the list. I'm 100% on board with this one. This had 20 votes, and it's for Spawn to be collected in omnibus format. Give us 300 issues of Spawn. I guess it'll run you about 10 volumes. Or my suggestion is to do a big box set. You could even do standard size hardcovers. Give us 1 through 300 of Spawn. If you do omnibus, then you got to really collect like the Cygor miniseries or like Medieval Spawn and things like that. So really, you're looking at more than 10. But I would be cool either way. I think more realistic would be a box set, but 10 omnibus to collect Spawn, I definitely would be in on that. Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo, and many more who later on jumped on the run. Excellent material. Number 6 on the list with just one more vote, 21 votes, we have the What If Omnibus. I'm a big fan of this. I like that first volume of What If. I don't think it needs to collect the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th volumes, but I think that the artwork is great, and it's just really interesting one-off stories. What if Dark Phoenix would have won? What if all these different crazy scenarios, which is funny because nowadays the stories that were what ifs back then are like actually happening. But, yeah, what if Wolverine joined S.H.I.E.L.D.? What if Punisher became Venom and all these kind of things? I think that would be super fun. And I think the first volume is over like 100 issues. Actually, there's 13 volumes of this because later volumes only had a couple of issues. Yeah, volumes 3 through 9 were one-shots. Volume 1 had 47 issues. You could probably cram that into one omnibus. Volume 2 was the one that had 114 issues. Yeah, what if Gwen Stacy had lived? Yeah, man, I'm definitely down for a what if. Number 5 on the list, we're getting some DC love. 30 votes. Dark Knight's Metal collected in omnibus format. Yes, DC did come out with 3 standard size hardcovers, but 1 big oversized omnibus that collects the main story plus the tie-ins. You need the Teen Titans, 13 for the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs, and all the little one-shots all combined into 1 big omnibus. Y'all gotta do it, DC. I mean, come on. Dark Knight's Metal, that's a no-brainer. Number 4 on the list, I'm 1000% on board with this. 34 votes. We have the SpiderMan 2099 Omnibus. Give me that omnibus. I think it's only like 46 issues or so. Let me look it up. Peter David on the writing here. Yeah, 46 issues. I was right. And I think that there's like a little tie-in. What is it? Fall of the Hammer, I think. Artist Rick Leonardi, Peter David. Yeah, I mean, they have trade paperbacks, and I'm worried that the trade paperbacks didn't sell that well, so Marvel's hesitant to do an omnibus. Trust me, an omnibus for Spider-Man 2099 90s material is going to sell. And while you're at it, let's go ahead and get a Marvel 2099 omnibus together. X-Men, Doom, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Hulk. Let's go ahead and get all those, but the Spider-Man one needs to be one in itself. 46 issues. I think there's maybe 3 other issues that'll help tie it in. There's a couple one-shots as well that you could probably include and make this a very awesome omnibus. Number 3 on the list with 41 votes. The man himself told me that this would probably happen one day, but Jason Aaron's Thor, man, I asked him in Vegas, and he said Marvel will probably do an omnibus once the run's complete, and it is now complete. We need his whole God Butcher stuff all the way up to the Unworthy Thor, Jane Foster stuff. It might be a couple of volumes as well, right? Because he did a lot of issues for Thor. Let's look it up. Yeah, it's too much to look into. But basically, we need Jason Aaron's Thor run. You could probably cap it off with the King Thor miniseries, but we need that collected in oversized format for sure. All right, number 2 on the list with 57 votes. The people want Uncanny X-Men Volume 4. We want to continue to collect this entire series in omnibus. Let's kind of see what we would need to do here, because Volume 3 started including a lot of miniseries like the Wolverine miniseries, the Magic miniseries, but it collects up to Uncanny 175. The Mutant Massacre omnibus picks up at 210, so I guess you're just looking at a little 30-issue omnibus to kind of fill the gaps between Volume 3 and Mutant Massacre. So, make it happen. And number 1 on the list, the most wanted omnibus that the Geminites want to see made with 75 votes. They want the entire Ultimate Spider-Man run collected in omnibus format. I think it's like, 100 and something issues? Well, let's look it up. I know it has 12 oversized hardcovers, which Volume 12, you could almost even leave that out. Leading right up into Secret Wars. This was Brian Michael Bendis' big hit on Marvel, and definitely deserves to get the omnibus because we have Volume 1, which has like issues 1 through 30. Yeah, it's about 133 issues, but then it gets into a renumbering kind of thing, and then ends up being 100 issues 150 through 160, and then there's an issue 200 in there. But that's only if you start collecting like the Miles Morales stuff as well. Either way, another good box set idea. I think if you have these big runs like Spawn, like Ultimate Spider-Man, I think box set might be the way to go, man, because it's probably going to be difficult to sell Volume 6 of an omnibus, right? That's not like a big, huge title, even though Ultimate Spider-Man is. But you know what I'm saying? Like Spawn Volume 7 might be a tough sale. But that box set, like, yo, Todd, you got it, man. Make that happen. Do pre-orders. Like, we'll definitely pre-order that, man. Marvel, yeah, they want Ultimate Spider-Man. I mean, like I said, we have Volume 1 on the omnibus. Maybe drop a Volume 2. Maybe do a box set. I don't know. Ball's in your court. But that is the top 10 omnibus that we want to see made. I voted on a handful of these as well. I voted for Amazing Spider-Man's 5 and 6, Spawn, The What If, Spidey 2099, and Ultimate Spider-Man. There were some close ones here, man. There was like Wolverine Volume 2 for the classic material to continue that patch run from issues, I think, 11 on. Marvel 2099 was on there. X-Factor was on there. I think, and I'm surprised, I don't think that we even thought of it. Flashpoint should get an omnibus that has the main story with all the tie-ins. That's the top 10 omnibus. Let me know, what omnibus do you want to see created in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more daily content, along with giveaways and all crazy kind of stuff. So, appreciate you guys watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.